The biggest mistake a man can make is live in fear of committing it. Living in the present. One of the basic principles of Stoicism is the practice of the present because life must be action, never remorse or anxiety. Living in the present leaves no room for nothing but this moment. A man focused on moving forward and acting to forward with your thoughts occupied in the present will always be serene and stable. On the other hand, he who surrenders to worry will always be captured by she. As Seneca said, he who suffers before necessary, he suffers more than necessary. Necessary. Suffer before necessary. Suffering before necessary means suffer twice, once before the problem emerge and another when he actually appear, because you suffer from a problem that hasn't even happened yet and maybe never happen. Suffering before necessary, you fill your mind of negative thoughts and reducing its performance. Accept the past. Live with serenity, accept the past because it cannot be changed, and live the present because it will shape the future from its roots. Stoicism offers us advice and negotiables for living a serene life and no negative worries. Worry from the beginning to the end of the day. If you care about the external event, it's not him who's bothering you, but yes, the judgment you make of him, and erasing this judgment will only depend of you, said Marcus Aurelius. Worry from the beginning to the end of the day. Non-negotiable way will bring you events, external and unforeseen life situations. Unlike a film, it doesn't follow a prepared script, but rather a succession of countless events external to you. You are just passing by. Most events do not depend on your actions. Since most events do not depend of your actions, understand that this is just a judgment of your mind. Worry about what doesn't depend directly from your actions is a choice yours, and often this type of worry does not even become a problem or torment. Therefore, it is up to you to decide whether worry or not. Stoicism teaches that worry stems from our emotional reactions. Stoicism teaches that worry comes from our emotional reactions. So the practice of self-control is essential to avoid worry. We must learn to manage our emotions and thoughts. The human being is an emotional being and can avoid feeling emotions like anger, euphoria, or sadness. These emotions always will be present within us. Duty as an individual lies in control them and decide that they do not affect your condition. A type of concern that is increasingly common is that which leads to depression and anxiety, and it happens a lot, partly due to our anxiety about the supposed problem. Worry excessively beyond focus attention on something uncertain and possibly real overloads the mind and rushes directly towards anxiety. The more commitment is put into facing that, what torments the most is worry. Stoicism teaches that worry is mental activity without a useful purpose. Face your uncertainties as soon as possible. Your life needs you in the present. Everything else is distraction, as mentioned previously. If you have to suffer, you will suffer. It is inevitable. Worry is a mental activity without useful purpose, as Epictetus said. In most of the activities we carry out, practically 90% of them have a purpose. Except the worry, she is not in the material world but in our minds. That's why worries always, they will be useless, wasting our good time is more precious. Worries will always be useless. What makes man suffer is the reality and never imagination. That's where your worries will dissipate. Nature of all your worries is external to you. If you have to suffer, end up suffering, why then give attention to the inevitable? This will only lead to more suffering than one's own. Concern. The precious moments will not be repeated. The precious moments were not repeated. This day will never happen again, as I said. Marcus Aurelius let this determine what you do, say, and think. This is the true way of remembering and having. Present the finiteness of life by accepting that one day we will all die. You will stop worrying about superficial, with futile things and with passengers. 90% of your worries arise from excess thoughts created by mind. Therefore, the vast majority of concerns do not pose a threat. Real. Always remember that you own total power to not let yourself be dominated by them. In the book Meditations, Marco Aurelio, the philosopher historical emperor, offers profound principles to free the mind of worry and cultivate a life more peaceful and serene. Through historical philosophy, he guides us to address concerns in a way thoughtful and wise. Here are 3 historical principles extracted from his reflections that can help us overcome the worry of the mind. Separation between the things that are in our hands and those that are not. Association of the nature of life. Marco Aurelio reminds us that life is full of challenges, uncertainties, and changes. Inevitable. To accept this reality is crucial to avoid worries. Unnecessary. He encourages us to recognize that many things are beyond our control and that there is diversity is an intrinsic part of existence. Human. By internalizing this truth, we can direct our energy towards what is within our reach. Reactions and attitudes of events accept the transitory nature and often unpredictable part of life helps us face situations with more equanimity, minimizing restlessness. Mental. What is in our control? Separation between things that are in our hands and those that are not. Marco Aurelio emphasizes the importance of distinguish between what we have direct control and what we don't have. He argues that most worries arise when we confuse these 2 domains. What is under our control, our will, our attitudes, and our answers. However many aspects of life are outside our control, as the actions of others or natural events. By focusing our efforts in what we can influence and accept with humility what is not, we can avoid anguish. Unnecessary. Clear understanding. This distinction helps us not to. We are excessively attached to results that are not in our hands. Emotional detachment. Practice emotional detachment. Stoicism instructs us not to be slaves of our emotions and cultivate ability to observe them with distancing. Marco Aurelio guides us to analyze our feelings impartially, recognizing that they do not define us completely. When we realize that we are more than our momentary emotions, we gain the ability to choose how react to them. Practice detachment. Emotional does not mean suppressing emotions, but rather not letting them govern our actions and thoughts. Harmful way. This helps reduce the concern generated by the intensity emotional and allows a more rational in the face of challenges. Closing. I hope this video helped you find calm in the midst of chaotic thoughts of worries. Here I leave 2 more videos full of historical wisdom. Until next time.